and Bosaso town in northeastern Bari region. The two were identified as Adan Muhammad Ali Muhammad and Muhammad Ali Muhammad Farah. Local media reports say many Al-Shabaab and Islamic State militants are in prison waiting to be executed after being sentenced to death. The Islamic State insurgents mainly operate in northeastern Puntland, where they had claimed attacks in the past. And South Africa says it will allow a sanctioned Russian oligarch to dock its super yacht in Cape Town. The $521 million vessel, which belongs to Alexei Mordashov, an ally of Russian leader Vladimir Putin, left Hong Kong earlier this week. South Africa opposition leaders had urged the government to seize the 465-feet-long yacht called the Node. A spokesperson for President Cyril Ramaphosa said he saw no reason to comply with the Western sanctions. And in the United States, a group of left-wing Democrats in the U.S. Congress has withdrawn a letter that called for a negotiated settlement to the war in Ukraine. The Progressive Caucus said the message was being misconstrued as aligned with the growing reluctance in the Republican Party to keep sending aid to Kyiv. Chairwoman Pramila Jayapal said it was drafted a month ago and that staff released it without it being vetted. The memo sparked intra-party backlash before U.S. midterm election next month. Moving on, climate change is severely impacting people's health around the world, according to a report by a leading medical publication. The Lancet Countdown report says the world's continued reliance on fossil fuels increases the risk of food insecurity, infectious disease, and heart-related illnesses. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres responded that global leaders must match action to the size of the problem. Leaders will meet for the major climate conference COP27 in Egypt next month. And finally, the Chinese government has been accused of establishing at least 2 undeclared police stations in the Netherlands. Dutch media found evidence that the overseas service stations, which promise to provide diplomatic services, are being used to try to silence Chinese dissidents in Europe. A spokeswoman for the Dutch Foreign Ministry said the existence of the unofficial police outposts was illegal. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has rejected the Dutch allegations. The investigation was sparked by a report entitled Chinese Transnational Policing Gone Wild by Spain-based NGO Safeguard Defenders. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's news in brief. I remain Mercy Gashegu Sembatia. Pastor Jessica Kayanja is coming on with the Marriage Now program. In this program, she preaches and speaks to us about the glory of God. It's something that has transformed many lives, and you do not want to miss out on this. I also remind you of the Karamoja Cry. We have done great in Karamoja, thanks to you, though the need is still great. Please send your contribution to the numbers that will be available during the services, or you can bring your contribution here at the Miracle Center Cathedral. Every evening we are having revival services. You will be tremendously blessed. Thanks to all those that have contributed. It's a great thing happening in Karamoja currently. I remain Mercy Gashegu Sembatia. Thank you for watching Channel 44. Enjoy the Marriage Now program with Pastor Jessica Kayanja.